Up to this point in our buyer series, we've been talking about the preparation process. So getting your credit up, building up your budget, finding an agent, finding a lender, getting pre-approved, things like that. But once all this foundational work is done, it's time for the fun part, which is the home search. Obviously, when you're looking to buy a home, the home search is the fun part. It's where you get to look at all the new possibilities of what your life could look like. But it's not as simple as that. Before actually going and physically looking at homes, there's still a few things that need to be done. So in this video, I'm going to be covering step 7 in our buyer guide series, which again, you can download that guide by clicking in the link in the description. And this covers the whole process of the home search from beginning to end, how to decide which homes to look for, and then actually looking at homes themselves. Again, if you like these videos, feel free to subscribe, and that way you'll get each video when it comes out, and you can click that bell notification and it'll send it right to you. Also, if there's other topics you'd like me to cover, feel free to let me know in the comment section, and I would love to do that as well. If you're looking for a home, there's a good chance that you have an idea of what you're looking for. But there are often conflicting values or interests, either whether it's within yourself or if you're working with a partner or spouse, there can be conflicting values and interests that you each might want something a little bit different. This can make it really difficult to make a decision about what you're actually looking for. For example, I recently had a case where a husband really wanted land. He wanted acreage where he could have a lot of space to have a shop and do a lot of different things that required land, which meant that the house itself would be very small. The wife, on the other hand, wanted a bigger house and smaller land because she didn't want to maintain yard work or anything like that. So this was a very conflicting opinions, and for them, it's going to be very difficult to find something that they both really like. But even when you're on the same page, it can still be difficult. For example, if you want a 3,000 square foot home on an acre, but your budget's only $500,000, those values are conflicting. The budget is conflicting with what you want in a home. Now, I did a whole video series about this one topic. You can check that out. I'm not going to go into all of that here. Main point is you have to figure out what your values are when looking for a home. Part of my role as an agent is to help people identify the things that are important to them, and not just in real estate, because again, there's these values that will be conflicting. You may have to give up other parts of your life to get the home that you really want, or vice versa. You may have to sacrifice things that you really would like in a home because there's other things, maybe like going on vacations with family, that are really important to you. These can be difficult conversations, and that's part of my role as an agent, is to help walk you through those difficult conversations and decisions. One of the things our team does to help with this process is we have in our buyer information form something that we call a wants and needs list. So this list has questions like the price, location, size, and several other questions that help us give an idea of what you're really looking for and what really matters to you. As a part of our process, we then go over this list with our clients and have a discussion about what these things are and why they're so important. And this is a good time for some of these conversations. And it's sometimes kind of like a counseling session about what really matters and why. Once that has been settled and there's a good understanding of what you're looking for, that's when the real fun begins and you get to actually physically go start looking at homes. On the home search side of things, I have a few tips I usually give. One is stick to homes that are within the wants and needs list. Now, it's so much fun to go look at homes that are way outside your price range, that are really fancy, but it can be really disappointing to go look at those homes and then go and look at homes that are within your budget, and realize like, oh my gosh, I really wish I could have that. Now I have to make all these sacrifices. And the other thing is honestly just a waste of time. If you're looking at homes that are not going to be within your criteria, it doesn't really do anyone any good. Now, there are some times where there's not complete clarity on what's important, and that's when going and touring homes can be especially beneficial. So for example, if you're not sure whether you really need a third bathroom or a second bathroom, or how much yard you need, or you may think that you want a fixer-upper, but then you go and look at some and realize that you're not up for it, it can be nice to go and look at different types of homes at different price ranges. That said, it can be helpful to look at homes that are on the edges of your price spectrum. So on the low end, you know what you're giving up, and on the high end, you know what you're getting, but you're also having to obviously pay more for it. Looking at homes on the either end can help with your decision. The second tip I give is to only look at 2 to 4 homes at a time. And now, depending on what market you're in, there may not be 2 or 4 homes to look at, and you may only be looking at 1 home at a time. Other markets, though, there could be over a dozen homes that fit your exact criteria. So what I always recommend is to start with that list of a dozen or so and whittle it down till you have no more than 4, maybe 5 homes at the absolute maximum. The reason for this is that if you look at all these homes, your brain just can't keep track of all the details. So details start getting mixed over. You forget which home had the walls you didn't like, which one had the carpet. And it can be really difficult to make a decision between 6 homes or 10 homes, whatever it might be, compared to 2 or 4 homes. The next thing is that appearance isn't everything. I'm going to show this on the screen from our guide, but you can see that it's important to look past aesthetics, and it's important to look for deeper issues within the home. So this could be things like foundation issues, things going on in the crawl space or attic. As an agent, I'm typically doing these kind of things. I'm usually looking for those big ticket items. I've been in hundreds of homes, so it's a little easier for me to pick out what things are a big deal and what are not. And there will be a home inspection. We'll talk about that later, but it's nice to know before you write an offer what you might be looking at in terms of costly items or things that are going to have to be fixed down the road. And when you do those things, it then allows you to write those things into the offer, depending on how competitive you're able to be. Well, I hope you found this video to be a helpful resource. Remember, you can download the guide, the full buyer guide, for free in the description below. And feel free to check out some of the other videos on our channel as we talk about different parts of the buying process. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.